He is Philip Martell, the superintendent of the River Valley School District. Our conversation this morning brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Mr. Martell, it's the end of the school year. I'm guessing you're just sitting back, sipping a drink and relaxing a little bit. I know that's not really the case, though, is it?
No, unfortunately, it's not. We obviously, a lot of people think that nothing really happens in the summer. That's really where a lot of our, what we do has to happen. So on a lot of different fronts, and including getting ready to, for which will now be our second year with the STEAM Academy next fall, and all the new programs that we're going to be offering.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking with Rob Heinrich from Indiana area the other day, and he said, June, that's the really, really busy time when you're a school administrator. You're working on budget, that's number one. In your case, you're also working on the STEAM Academy as you move forward with that and expand its programs. You've got the construction project with the athletic fields. You got enough to keep you busy, don't you?
We really do. The construction project's underway now, and obviously, the STEAM Academy, the construction project of the $2 million welding lab is well underway because we have to have that ready for September 1. So, yeah, we have a lot on our plate, but, everybody's got their tasks and are committed to working hard and, just hopefully try to make sure people don't get burned out either.
Yeah, well, let's start down at the STEAM Academy where, as you mentioned, the welding course is getting set to open up and you're doing other things and expanding program offerings there. For folks who I know that we've mentioned in the past that the program offerings at the STEAM Academy are not just for River Valley students, but for folks who are really interested in learning about it. What's the best way they can do that?
We set up we have an inquiry. There's an inquiry page off of our website, which we're actually getting a new website, for the STEAM Academy and the district, because the websites have to be user friendly too. Mm-hmm. But really, they can just contact the district, and we have on that page, and I'm not sure. Excuse me for slipping my mind, but we have a direct line for the STEAM Academy. So we would be available. They'd call that line to set up tours. If they fill out an inquiry form off the website, we're pretty busy doing those tours now for parents and for students as they look to come over, from other districts.
Yeah, and the different program offerings have to be pretty attractive to them as well.
They are. And, we're excited too, Todd, because if you really, not only for just, outside students, but we have next year, we have basically 110 of our own students in grades 10 through 12 that'll be at the STEAM Academy in some capacity. So really, it's becoming a sustainable, model for us internally, just when we have those amount of kids in these programs.
Yeah. What's the percentage of students that will be STEAM Academy students in addition to River Valley students?
Our numbers are around 35% of our own grade 10 through 12, if you look at that. So, and, as we still navigate some of the, outside issues, because it's still a different model, we have to explain to parents, and there's still some resistance from some of the other districts that we have to overcome. But, we're hoping that we can at least, somehow get 20 to 30 outside students for the upcoming year, and that would be fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's the STEAM Academy, which continues to plow forward and break some new ground. Let's get back over to the main campus of the school district itself at River Valley and talk a little bit about what's going on there. We mentioned the athletic fields, the complex that is underway now, the construction underway. What sort of a scheduled timeline did you have to make to adjust for the delay in the start?
Everything that the board approved last month, about $4 million in phases 1, 2, and 3, and that's really just all the moving of the dirt, the foundational work, the repair of the Soars run, which is the River Valley High School Soars system. But then comes to that work will take place. The bulk of that going into September. In September, we'll actually approve the building bids and different things, and then, as I said, everything will be ready by this next spring. Especially hopefully we get into track season, everything will be up and running.
Yeah, and of course, with any project of this nature and the scope of this project, of course, you'll make adjustments as they are necessary. But I'm sure that the kids themselves are really excited about what's coming.
They are. They're just excited in general with everything that we're doing as a district, and it has challenges because we're still looking at the same supply chain or logistics issues in our country, for some of these things in the project. But we're just, we're trying to navigate those, and hopefully things will get better soon.
Yeah. All right. The budget season is here. and that has to be firmed up here through the month of June, and we know that their school board committee will be working on that, but the administration is a key part of it all. You're the educators that are involved in this, and so you have to design a budget that you know is going to be amenable to everybody in the district, responsible to the district's taxpayers, and at the same time able to look at the coming trends for the district in terms of student enrollment and where you're going to be not only this year but 3, 5, 10 years down the road. All of those figure into fashioning a budget and the new educational concerns as well. What's the process look like for you so far?
We've done a really good job the last couple of years as we reconfigured and reinvested back. When we were doing, as I always said, we were doing two of everything, and it wasn't a sustainable financial model. But because we with the reconfiguration, we're now reinvesting back into our programs and what we're doing. So we've kind of got a pretty good grip on it. I see a lot of districts are struggling. We're not. We're able to. We just signed a new collective bargaining agreement with our professional staff, which makes our salaries probably the most competitive in the region. And because really, we're in a recruiting war. We know the lack of teacher workforces out there, so we have to have the ability to hire the best and retain them as well. And we got that commitment from our board and worked very closely with our associations to get a new collective bargaining agreement done. But that plays a big part of it because in the same sense, we have to be able to manage those costs from a budget perspective, and work from there because our board doesn't, at this time does not want to look at any type of millage increases. Which I'm in agreement with. That's really got to be your last step. If you have to increase millage to kind of ease that burden on the taxpayers.
We know that as we get into the second or third year here third year since the merger of the two ends of the school district, that the busing was one of the very big issues right at the very start of the process. Now, a couple of years into it, are you comfortable that the bus routes and the whole busing situation is worked out and is operating smoothly?
It is. But we will always continually look to tweak different things. Obviously become efficient, but also still be responsive to parents as much as we can. So we are constantly looking at evolving those routes. We have an excellent transportation director, and she just constantly is looking, okay, we can do this a little bit better, but this also maybe it'll reach more students, maybe shorten up the time on runs. So it's an ongoing process, so it really is.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you as well, I was thinking about this in terms of other school districts, so I need to ask you too. When the pandemic hit and it put such a burden on the online offerings of the school district and the broadband capabilities, you and every other school district had to do what you had to do. And sometimes that involved temporary fixes to broadband problems. Sometimes it involved something more permanent. Some school districts had everything already pretty well advanced so that the adjustments were small. Where does River Valley stand now in terms of broadband and the ability to offer remote education where it's necessary and that whole broadband issue?
We still have a few pockets where obviously I know that the county and the number of the organizations are working, with the monies from the federal government to try to do that, to get those areas included. But we probably are around 97% covered now. We can go online instantaneously and have a plan in place to do that. So we're comfortable where we're at, but, we're going to continue to evolve too. We have a technology plan that takes all that into consideration. It's a 5-year technology plan. So we need to continually, figure out where those areas potentially could be, then how we make adjustments to help families out.
I'm sure that you work with other school districts and sort of mine the information from other superintendents and administrations about what happens the next time a pandemic hits. That's something you have to actively plan for now, isn't it?
It really does, because honestly, if you think about it, Todd, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah.
So we have to prepare to do it. No question about it.
Yeah, that's something that you have to consider. All right, so summer plans at River Valley. I'm sure that you've got some educational recovery programs going. What else is happening within the school district buildings here for the summer?
We still have we have our summer STEAM camps that we open up to all of our students, so we will still actively do those. We've been doing them for the last couple of years. We have some, we also put 15 new courses for accelerated learning Quite honestly, we need to get our students to be able to come through the system if they choose to come quicker. They want to graduate as a junior. They would like, because if you look at the current structure a lot of schools do now, students in their senior year are taking maybe 1 or 2 courses and they're sitting in 5 study halls. That's not an effective model. So what I've decided, we're going to offer accelerated courses. This way, if the student gets to their senior year, they can take those 2 courses, but they can leave and maybe go to a job shadowing, to an internship, to actually just work and be more productive instead of just sitting in study halls. So we're really trying to ramp up what we want to do internally, and really because it fits the model now that, what River Valley is all about.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll continue to monitor what's going on within the River Valley School District. As you know, anytime any of our school districts want to come on and talk with us, we're happy to do that. Thanks for joining us this morning.
I appreciate it, Todd, and thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good summer. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. WCCSradio.com.